the country which has no ocean in it, as they are being surrounded by the biggest countries like India and China. The country can be snow and ice covered Himalayas. It means to say that the country, our Nepal is surround our Nepal. So our Nepal is surrounded with tallest Himalayas, Himalayan peak in the world. So Nepal is a landlocked country as it doesn't have any ocean in it. So Nepal, the present status of biodiversity in Nepal is good, but it is decreasing now day by day because of the threatening of the people due to some bad efforts. So we are going to study about it today. So it's given about topographical zones of Nepal. So topographical zones of Nepal, it means to say that here are given. So maybe here is a problem. So here should not be only four, but here should be five ecological zones. It is at last here should be alpine zone. So according to the altitude of the our country, so Nepal is divided into five type of ecological zones. So they are as given below. They are topographical zone which is given 1200 meter. So 1200 meter means the altitude of our country which lies in the topographical zone. uh, in this topographical zone, the temperature is too high, so it's we can take this zone as the Tarai region. So it's about subtropical tro- subtropical zone, which is from the altitude of 1200 meter to 2400 meter. So the temperature here is similar to tropical zone, but it is a little cold than it. So it's given about temperate zone which is 2400 to 36 meter of altitude, which says that it is the normal temperature zone. In fourth point, it's given about subalpine zone. So subalpine zone is from 3600 to 4400 meter, which lies in the Himalaya region. So it is more colder than all of it three. But when talking about fifth one, alpine zone, so alpine zone is from the altitude of 4400 meter to above. So alpine zone is the ecological zone of Nepal, which lies above the 4400 meter of altitude. So in 4400 meter of altitude, the only the some of the animals and plants are found there. So there is very less possibility of habitat of any organism there. So while talking about altitude, so the altitude of Nepal is 8,848.6, so it has increased by zero point 0.6 this year. So the next slide is about biodiversity degradation and its conservation. As we all know that Nepal is very much rich in biodiversity. Likewise, being too much rich in biodiversity, but the people living in Nepal, they are nowadays doing some misconception on its topic. So nowadays they are cutting their trees. They are not performing well for the conservation of biodiversity. So there are some problems in it. Biodiversity is in Nepal is threatened by multiple factors: loss and degradation of natural habitats, forest, grass, land, and wetlands. It says about the natural habitats. So if we cut trees and we throw wastage on the source of water, then not only human beings are affected by it, but the organisms, animals, and living plants are also affected by it. Like if we cut the trees, then the birds and the animals which live on it, which live on the forest, can survive, and they do not have their own habitat. And while talking about wetlands, so wetlands are the wet places which is like pond. So in wetlands, there are a lot of nutritious things, or the we know the insects are found there, by which the organism which live there can feed their offspring for the nutritious food. Due to the expansion of the settlement, agriculture, and infrastructure, overexploitation, invasion by alien species, and pollution of water bodies are also same uh, predominant threats. Poaching and illegal wildlife trade and human-wild conflict are other major direct threat. So it's given here that agriculture and infrastructure. So we know that every country wants to be top one in the world. We know about Dubai, Qatar, Dubai, New Zealand, and Australia, America. They are all the top countries in the world. So they have got a lot of huge infrastructure in it. So for the infrastructure and of agriculture also, the people living in our country are nowadays doing it with many misconceptions, as they are cutting trees in a huge amount, which causes pollution of water bodies. We all know that after we do any type of construction work to make our country the best in the world, we have to get some infrastructure, agriculture field, and some money and currency. So for that also our country must be well in economic condition. So to be well in economic condition also our country is launching a lot of agriculture programs, infrastructure. But while doing those things, so over exploitation is done. Over exploitation, it means that the work is done with no any concept, so they are doing it haphazardly. So doing it haphazardly will cause mistake that may lead to some destructions. uh, Poaching and illegal wildlife trade, poaching, illegal cutting of trees, selling or killing animals for its fur, skin, bones, etc. And threat to forest biodiversity, particularly in protected areas. We all know that we studied about it yesterday. We studied about the conservation areas. So we studied about hunting reserves and national parks. So in those areas, so people are not allowed to kill it. But we know the organisms, some organisms, they are a lot in number. So they must be controlled. So we have hunting reserves for it. So in hunting reserves we can get the chance to kill one animal, only one. So the one animal which is given there to kill, they are large in number, so they are given for killing it. So next topic is given about. So maybe keep the duration for a long time. So, deforestation. No sir. No sir. It's thank you. Yeah. Now it came to this outside. Maybe deforestation. Yes. So, so so deforestation, it is a similar term. We have studied about it a lot. So there are two terms which is afforestation and deforestation. So deforestation means to cut trees in a haphazard way. We all, as I said before, that Nepal wants to develop like other countries. So there must be any infrastructure. So for that also forest is very important. But being important also is not much good, as people living in it are cutting it haphazardly, which is causing loss of habitats. Forest has a very significant role in maintaining the balance of nature, as it helps in the soil conservation of air and air, water, and soil. So forest has a very huge role in development of our biodiversity and country also, as it helps in the soil conservation of air and water and soil. We all know that we are causing from some of the natural disasters nowadays, like landslide, flood. They all are because of the deforestation, as we know that the roots of the trees, they help in maintaining or balancing the soil, which prevents us from landslide and floods. So nowadays we can see that a lot of trees are now being cutting uh, frequently, that is which is the main reason for landslide. But nowadays forest is decreasing mainly by human activities. The process of reducing the area of forest is called deforestation. As I said before, we have a lot of forest and natural resources in our country, but the people living in it are cutting it, which is cutting the trees and forests, which is called deforestation. As the forests are the home to many type of animals, deforestation lead to degradation of the biodiversity. Yes, it's a very good point. So many animals live in forest. Many plants, animals live in forest. So if the forests are being cut, and the deforestation is continued for a long period of time, then the animal who has their habitat in the forest might get extincted. So now it is given here about unmanaged urbanization. So unmanaged urbanization, it is a true term. So urbanization means development and building of houses, building of infrastructures in country. But if it is done in a managed way, then it is very much beneficial for our country. But if it is done in unmanaged way, it may cause severe type of destructions. So due to development in the means of sources, villagers are developing into towns and towns into cities. We know that every people want to develop their lifestyle and want to have a happy lifestyle. So for having a happy lifestyle also, they are the villagers who live in village, they are nowadays migrating to the towns and cities. So due to that, many urbanization is also done. The process is called urbanization, but all the cities are not well managed. Yes, it's true. We can take the example of Kathmandu for now. So we can see that there are a lot of houses over here. Every place is covered by houses. Uh, as I remember, some years ago, like 9 to 10 years ago, uh, there were some places in Kathmandu Valley. So that was full of forest, but now it is turned into city by cutting it. So it is also not managed urbanization. So many of the city are poorly managed. In cities, many types of vehicles are used. They are both personal and public. Most of them use fossil fuel. They smoke emitted the smoke emitted by them degrades air. Yes, it's true. In cities, we all know that there are two types of transportation service. It's a public one and it's a private one. Private one is what we have, and public one is locally for all of us. So due to them, we all know that the vehicles use fossil fuels for running it. So it causes degradation of air by the harmful smoke and gas produced by them. It's given here a picture that it shows maybe it's of our valley, Kathmandu Valley. So we can see here are a lot of house. So there is no any place for plantation or any type of afforestation program. So it is the example of unmanaged urbanization. So the next slide is like this. So now it is given about industrialization. Industrialization. So industries are the symbols of development of country. It is because they produce essential things for people and give them jobs. It's true. So we all know some of the countries like Japan, they are using their industries in a very perfect way. We all know that the best technology nowadays in the world is from Japan. So it is all because of the industries and factories found in it. So industries plays a huge role for the development of country, as it provides the country with foreign currencies too. Uh, Also, it gives the employment to the people living in it. And if industries are not established in proper place in proper ways, the solid, liquid, and gas waste released degrade the quality of air, water, and land in which organisms live and interact with them. Yes, it's true. Once talking about it, there was a factory in Valvata. So it was industry which was of a soap or marble industry. So it was located near the place where we people reside. So according to the government, so the factories are not allowed to be established near the place where people reside. So that industry had to be transferred from that, and that industry was locked forever. So by this we can learn that the factories or the industry which we have around, they are not able to be made or established around the place where we live, because we all know that it throws harmful gases like carbon dioxide, which is not good for our health, which degrades the quality of air, water, soil. So it was all about my presentation. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay, children. So it was very lovely. They are fond of presenting themselves. Yes or no? What is it? I think because of this speed of net, sometimes it becomes slow. So, uh, what did we discuss yesterday? Number one, what are the major causes of biodiversity degradation? Number two, how to conserve those biodiversity, right? So mainly, how can we conserve the biodiversity? By establishing many more protected areas. Could you tell me what are the different protected areas? National park. Okay. One thing remember, in the absence of biodiversity, our life also will be in threat. We will not survive. Human beings cannot survive if there are no plants and animals. So what we have to do? We have to preserve their gene. We have to preserve their number. Right? I think it became a bit slow. Let me move from here. Last time, some efforts or environmental conservation. How many efforts did we discuss yesterday? Four. What is the first one? Poaching and illegal trade. By number, second one. Third one, the importance of biodiversity. Fourth one, these 4 points must be focused, right? Okay. Children, now what to do? Will you take out your course book? Because it was discussed yesterday also. Now, which duty is there to present tomorrow? Your duty. So, be up to date and prepare a slide accordingly. You can make a bit more slides so that we can um, go for a long drive. Children, now I'm going to give you some task. We have got very less time left. Even though if task is not given, then you will be very unhappy. There is MCQ. Is there MCQ? Has it come MCQ there? Okay. Question number one. Will you read what is given? Second and correct. Positive effect on natural resources. Okay. Number B. Environment impact assessment. Right. Third one. Advanced life. Number D. The following organization working in the field of environmental conservation is national. NTNC, not IUCN. So NTNC. Why are you joining hands unnecessarily? That is Samsagiri. What is that? Samsagiri. Don't do Samsagiri. No Dadagiri, no Samsagiri. Pathangiri, Lekhangiri, Bhujangiri, Sochangiri. No Gafangiri, no Khokangiri. Okay. Number E. Which of the following is related with all plants, all animals? With faunal. Faunal means animals, right? All animals. And number F. Which of the following conservation is ex situ conservation? Ex situ means outside of the natural habitat, that is botanical garden. What is that? Zoo also. Oh, two are given, right? Okay, your classwork is MCQ. Start doing right now.